Hey guys, it's Matt, and here are my ideas for the day. So I'm trying something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to improv a bit. In the past, I've been reading off of a script. I was writing my ideas down and then reading those ideas during this video. I am going to take a leap of faith and see if I can't improv better than I can reading a script. So here we go. My first idea is the skillet assistant. So I had this idea when I woke up at 2 a.m. a couple nights ago, and the concept, which is probably much better than the ability to execute on it, is a sensor that would tell me when I need to flip some type of food on a skillet or to stir it. And I'm guessing the way that it would need to work is I would need to program in the type of food that I'm cooking and its quality, especially if I'm cooking a piece of meat, to specify like its grade. If it's super tender piece of meat or if it's a little bit tougher. And then that sensor would also need to be heat tolerant enough to detect the temperature of the skillet without melting. So there are all sorts of hurdles with this, but I think that my heart's in a good spot in terms of the idea and that it would have value if it was properly executed. Idea number 2 is the hairbrush buddy. So this is a hairbrush that has a chamber in it, like a little reservoir behind the bristles, and that reservoir would contain some type of liquid depending on how you intend to use the hairbrush. It could be conditioner or shampoo if you're using it in the shower. It could be hair gel or water if you're using it outside of the shower. I'm guessing this probably exists. It almost sounds too easy and valuable to not exist, but I think that it should be more mainstream. I think it's a pretty good idea and very feasible. All right, the next idea is a website concierge. So most websites, you go to their homepage and they rely on your effort to try to figure out what page is right for you to navigate to. And a lot of times we just become frustrated. We all have ADD and we just abandon the website altogether. The problem, if you're a website owner with that, is you leak a lot of traffic. Your conversion rates are much lower than they really should be. So what needs to happen, in my opinion, is when somebody comes to a website, before they're even presented any content, it should attempt to ask them it should attempt to qualify them in terms of what content they should be served. So I'm totally going to improv here, but for example, if I was going to an online education website that offered online courses on web development, I might be presented a question of what level of skill are you? Intermediate, beginner, or advanced? And then depending on the option I choose, then it would route me to a particular web page with certain copy that is relevant to where I am in my life cycle as a user. This is Sales 101. Anybody knows that great salespeople ask questions before they try to provide any solution. Yet websites really don't do this across the board. I'm guessing the reason for that, or I know the reason for that, is technical hurdles. And it requires a whole lot of additional copy too to be relevant to a more diverse group of users. Still, I think that the ROI would be worth the effort here. The next idea, what am I on? I'm on idea 4. The next idea is closed captioning for movie theaters. Maybe I'm just not aware of this because I don't have any type of hearing impairment, but I feel like movie theaters should offer more closed captioning for those who are hearing impaired. I'm assuming that it isn't more ubiquitous because not many people are hearing impaired. And to those who aren't, closed captioning might be bothersome to them. So here's my solution to that problem, or my proposed solution. is that there should be a small group of seats in a movie theater. And in front of those seats should be seats that have like glass panes, essentially, that come out of the headrests. And on that glass pane, it would have the closed captioning. So it would actually be very similar to, like a teleprompter, essentially, that shows the closed captioning. And so if you're looking from your chair forward, you're looking through that glass toward the movie theater's screen, and you would see the closed captioning running basically over top of the movie theater screen. The reason that's such a win-win is because those users who need closed captioning get it. And everybody else around doesn't have to see any type of closed captioning. And because it's a piece of glass, it would look pretty sexy, I think. It certainly wouldn't bother anybody else that is looking over top of those who are hearing impaired toward the screen. And the last idea that I'm sharing publicly here is shrinking shoes. So the concept here is that if you aren't active, then your shoes would actually continue to tighten and tighten and tighten. Obviously, they wouldn't tighten so much to cause any type of pain, but it would keep you from taking your shoes off. And if you start moving, then your shoes start to loosen up and loosen up and loosen up enough to where you can actually take your shoes off if you so choose. I know this is kind of an odd idea, but again, I think it comes from a good place, which is trying to encourage people to be more active, to be more cognizant of their inactivity, and it uses kind of consequences in order to encourage people to take action. So those are my ideas for the day. I hope that you enjoyed this recording. I am improvising. I hope that it didn't come off as unprofessional. Please comment below with your favorite idea that I've shared here. If you'd like me to share all 70 of my weekly ideas via email with you, I welcome you to also leave your comment below with your email address, or you could private message me or text message me if you have my phone number. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.